Going on, everybody? KSA Kris, Real Estate Blitz. Good to see you this morning. Today, some of the stuff I'm going to talk about this year as I start posting up content, it's going to be stuff that's a little bit outside of real estate too, because I think it's important to talk about. And today, I'm going to talk about my health journey soon and some of the major changes that I did. But I want to talk about testosterone, TRT, testosterone replacement therapy, and why I got on it and the benefits I've found, especially when it comes to military members. And that's actually how it got put in front of me. Um, so, real quick, what ended up starting? A little while back, I got diagnosed with prostate cancer, and luckily it all got sorted out. But it started me down this health journey of exploring, what I was sticking in my mouth as far as food, getting back in the gym. So, I did 20 years in the Marine Corps, and when I retired in 2015. I did what a lot of Marines do. I got out of shape. I was in pretty horrible shape. I looked horrible. I was inactive, and I started my health journey. But really, that really solidified it for me to where I was getting in the gym. But here's what was going on. I was experiencing a lot of major mental issues and physical issues. I was exhausted all the time. I was, taking naps. Come noon, I was done. My day, I was exhausted. Around noon or 1 o'clock in the afternoon, I was just tired. I was probably going through what people call a midlife crisis. What I've learned is it's not what you think it is, at least for men. I can't speak for women. But I started talking to a buddy of mine, and he says, "Hey, there's this place down the street. You need to go over there and get checked out. You should probably try to explore TRT, which is testosterone replacement therapy." Um, I had preconceived notions like most people do. I reached out to my general practitioner, spoke to him. I talked to the VA, and they're telling me it's going to take 1 to 2 years. And at that point in my life, mentally, I felt I was exhausted mentally. I was exhausted physically. I felt depression. I felt depressed. I felt like I had lost my edge. I felt like I was worthless. I mean, just no drive. There was a lot that was going on, and I thought it was just me. But what I found out, the VA, they're not helpful, and neither it was my general practitioner. And I saw this video on Instagram. I'll have to find it and post it up for y'all. But it talked about veterans and the benefits of TRT to combat veterans specifically, but veterans, and why you should explore it and why the VA will not help you, right? So then, as I watched that video, I was like, you know what? The worst that could happen is I could stay the way that I am. Let's at least go see this doctor. So I went to Game Day Men's Health. Game Day Men's Health. It's right in Temecula. I went over there. I got my blood done, and they're like, "Yeah, you're at like 30% of your normal levels you should be at right now," which is awful. And as I talked to the doctor, my practitioner there, they started explaining a lot of the stuff I was feeling. It wasn't a midlife crisis as far as what people think it is. Is it a midlife crisis? Yes, because what's happening, the things that had the hormones, the chemicals that were in my body that my body naturally produced, they were abandoning me, right? So from the time that I started becoming a man, and all these hormones hit my body, um, until I went into my 40s. It's what I had. It's all I knew. It's all I ever was, because it was my normal. And when it started running away from me, it created this new normal within my mind, within my body. I would say physically, mentally, spiritually, like across the board. And I didn't know how to deal with it or how to cope. And I think a lot of people, that's what creates, from what was explained to me, that ideal of a midlife crisis. You start thinking, well, what if I did this? What if I chased that? What if I got this car? What if I, met a younger lady? All these different things that go through that actually, and for me, it was alcohol and partying and trying to go out. It actually erodes what I found it for me. I can't talk for other people. It was eroding who I was as well spiritually. And I was just more miserable than I would have been if I just stayed home and didn't chase trying to feel okay. So after I did that, I uh, they put me on testosterone replacement therapy. I will tell you, I started a year and a half ago, about a year ago. So it was January of 2023. There it is, January 2023. And it has been life changing. Everything changed. I feel better. I feel like my normal self. I'm not tired throughout the day. I have a desire. I come in, I work, I'm focused. That's a big one. The cloud that was in my head, it was just like this fog, this brain fog that I constantly was experiencing. And it took a minute. So I would say I started feeling the effects after 2 weeks. And they said, hey, it's going to take up to 3 months for it to fully hit you. But I started feeling the effects about 2 weeks in, and then I would say about a month and a half in, I was feeling phenomenal. So yeah, I still go to Game Day Men's Health. It's extremely affordable. And there's plenty of places you can go online and find some of these places. You can go through your doctor as well. All of them, you're always going to have to go through a doctor. They're going to take your blood test and they're going to look at your testosterone, a lot of other stuff. What's great about this, when I first started it, so I actually started before January 2023, and my blood test, that's when they realized, hey, something's wrong. You need to go see your doctor. Your PSAs are high. That's what cued me and my doctor to look at prostate. And that started me down the path of dealing with prostate issues. But once that was cleared up, then I went back, and then January 2023, I started testosterone. It has been life changing. I go to the gym, I'm full of energy, I'm focused. I think that's a big one. I feel connected again. I feel like I'm in life. Um, it's been wonderful, absolutely wonderful. And I think also just my body, my overall body composition, I was in pain all the time. I was always sore and wore out. So what's great, one of my big goals as I started getting my health put together a couple years ago was just to look better. I just wanted to look better and feel better, but I just wasn't making the gains that I was looking for because little did I know I had no testosterone. With testosterone replacement therapy over the last 2 years, I went from 100 and was I 160 pounds. I'm at 224 right now, 224 pounds. I don't know, you can't really see it in this video. Um, but 224 pounds. But the big one, it was less about that. It was more about just my body being able to recover, being able to go and have a great workout every time I go into the gym. I go 5 days a week, and just be physically able. I have two pretty young kids. I started having kids when I was 36, and to keep up with these young guys that are, they're active now. They want to go out and play soccer. They want to go skateboarding and ride their scooters and all this stuff. I just couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. I got on testosterone, and it's just night and day difference. I'm able to keep up with them. I get to go out with them. I have fun with them, and I feel like a new person. So, what does this all have to do with the real estate blitz? I think, from when I look at the demographics of who watches me, it's a lot of guys that watch me and watch my videos. It's a lot of guys that are, in their 30s and in their 40s. So the first thing I would say is, once you hit 40, start getting your prostate checked. It's no joke. It's no joke. But if you're starting to feel exhausted and you're going through what we would call a midlife crisis, the odds are good it's that you're being abandoned by the things that made you what we would consider outside of chromosomes, or what we would consider a man, which is a lot of our hormones that run through our bodies. They start abandoning you and running away from you, and like there's a fire, and then you just start. It's this overwhelming brain fog, depression, exhaustion. If you're starting to feel like that, I wanted to put this up because there are a lot of older real estate agents that follow me. Go check it out. I highly recommend it. It's been life changing for me. I couldn't even imagine going back to how I was. The best part is I get my blood redone every 2 months from Game Day Men's Health. Every 2 months, I get my blood redone. We look at everything. So it helps me out a ton as far as my cholesterols. It's been a great thing for flagging on if I have, my PSAs, everything that you need. They're going to do a full blood panel and make sure that you're where you need to be. And this is the other one. I think the reason why I had my misconceptions, I always viewed testosterone as something like a steroid that bodybuilders use. What I like about where I go, they're giving you what you need to have your normal levels for where you are at your age, which is wonderful. They're not pumping me full of stuff to make me be 18 again. They're pumping me full of stuff to make me enjoy being 46. That's it. And I think it's wonderful. So that's what I got to say today. Hopefully, it helps somebody if you're exploring TRT. Um, and I'm a fan. I will. It is something that I will never not use. We have the technology. I feel wonderful, and it's great because it's prescribed by a doctor and monitored by a doctor that I talk to pretty darn often, and it's awesome. So that's all I got today. Thank you much. Appreciate it, and I'll see you all soon.